But we are extremely excited to go to Munich, try some German food. Thank you so much. People here are very friendly. Today we're going back to where this whole trip started. We are finally going to Munich. Now, while we are extremely excited to go to Munich, we did have something we wanted to talk to you about.
That's beautiful. Wow. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to heading to Munich.
I made the mistake of not reserving a particular seat for the Innsbruck to Munich train, which wasn't necessary on any of the other trains. We've gone to like 6 different seats and been kicked out by people with reservations. So if you're watching this and you're in Innsbruck and you want to go to Munich, pay the $6 to reserve a seat.
We made it to Munich.
These guys are having way more fun than we are. That's how we're gonna do our next trip.
Yeah.
One of us blindfolded, we don't know where we're going.
Yep. 2 beers in your hands.
They had a case of they had at least 30 beers with them that they drank in that 2-hour train ride.
That's the commitment.
Welcome to Munich.
Our first time in this very station here in Munich. We were tired, we were hungry, we were dazed, we were confused, we were jet lagged. Today feels a lot more peaceful.
We walked around this train station for at least an hour, probably closer to 2 hours, lost, hungry, asking people for directions. We couldn't figure out where to go. And well, not much has changed. Now we just gotta find our hotel. Hopefully, it shouldn't be too far away. Hopefully we can get there without any major issues.
As it turns out, Munich's a pretty big city, so this far on the map is like 2 miles. Oh my gosh, I don't know if we're gonna make it. It looks like we're really close. We have like 20 meters to go. I really don't know. I don't know, stay tuned.
For some strange reason, we are just craving French fries and a hamburger.
I told Greg before he left, I'm getting 2 hamburgers.
We will obviously be trying plenty of traditional German food while we're here in Munich. Oh, but right now, just a big greasy hamburger.
Oh man,
Woo!
woo!
This is pizza and burgers. Now, a rule of thumb I have is to try and avoid restaurants that have like way too many different things on the menu. This one's not too bad, it's only 2, but a place that has pizza, burgers, tacos, and like kebabs, none of them are gonna be good. But today, well, we didn't really have any other options, but we had to take a risk. Speaking of taking risks, that is exactly what we wanted to talk to you today about. Now, over the years, our bucket list has been growing and growing and growing. We've only been adding things to it at a much greater rate than we've been accomplishing these things, much less even attempting to accomplish these things. Now, whenever Hillary and I talked about taking this trip, or were dreaming of different trips we could take and that we wanted to do, our minds only went to one place. Our minds always went to the worst case scenario. What if the trip goes poorly? What if we don't like it? What if it risks our career? We never stop to think, what if it goes well? What if it's great? What if it's the time of our life? I think our minds shelter us, they protect us by going straight to those negative outcomes. Because truth be told, if it didn't and we followed every crazy idea this guy has, we would not be in a good place. So I'm not saying taking a risk with every idea you have, if you're anything like me, is a good idea. But I think a lot of you out there probably feel this same way. There's things you want to do, there's things you want to see, things you want to try, but maybe just the thought of taking that risk, whether it be financially, career-wise, both, or even just like the idea of traveling to somewhere new, even if you have the time and finances to do so, might be a little scary. I know it's a little scary. We have talked ourselves out of so many things we wanted to do because we were afraid to take that risk. And while it's easy to talk yourself out of getting out of your comfort zone, taking these risks, pursuing something that might, on one hand, be the best thing you've ever done, but on the other hand, it could be like the worst decision you've ever made. I think the interesting thing to me is that while we immediately jump to worst case scenario with maybe taking a trip or doing something outside of our comfort zone, we typically fail to think that not taking action, not taking that trip is taking an action. We don't ever think of the worst case scenario of, what if we don't take that trip? What if we don't try? What if we don't get out of our comfort zone? How are we gonna feel 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road then? And I think really, to sum it up, what we're learning, what we've learned in this short trip so far, in this short journey of pursuing all of our bucket list adventures, is that I think as long as you're getting out of your comfort zone for experiences, as long as you're chasing experiences and not things, you're gonna be fine. It really can't, you can't go wrong. And while sure, there could be a catastrophe, something bad can still happen, I think at the end of this whole trip, if we're like financially ruined and career ruined and no one watches these videos, we can at least look back and say that we tried. We can at least look back and know that we gave it our all, we went con todo, and at least we went out pursuing our dreams. And we hope, video by video, little by little, we can inspire you to chase your dreams as well.
My very first vegetarian burger in Germany. Wow. Oh. It's not that good. It's not that good.
And that's life. Sometimes you take risk and, well, you're not rewarded. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. It's not good. Looks like it needs ketchup.
Yeah, something.
Take risks, but calculated risks. For example, just do a quick Google review place of how good this other people think this place is. That'll give you an idea of whether it's worth the risk or not. In our case, we should have looked at some reviews.
That's a severe understatement. That place was garbage. Can I say that? The veggie burger? Carrots and peas. It was like a chicken pot pie burger.
Well, that sounds kind of good.
No, I need pizza.
Material things can be taken away, but our experience at that pizza and burger joint, we will never forget.
No one can take that away from me, and I'm so glad. Wait, I really wish they could. Real quick, before we crack open this bottle of wine from Georgia, today's video is brought to you by you, our Patreon community. Patreon ensures we can maintain the integrity of our adventures and, more importantly, these videos. We can prioritize real-life adventures over gimmicky and cheap ideas and YouTube titles. We want to show you the world, not show you the world while turning everything into a stunt or a spectacle. We want to share real, authentic adventures across the world and not feel as if we need to do so half naked or while wearing the world's largest shoes. Unfortunately, that's the type of content that YouTube rewards. But I have a feeling you're here for real adventures by real people. And if you are, consider joining our Patreon community to ensure that we can create entertaining video documentaries that you love, regardless of what the ever-changing YouTube algorithm wants at the time. Now, back to the fully clothed adventures.
Classy wine and not so classy glasses.
Cheers to drinking Georgian wine that we bought in Austria while we're in Germany. We are cultured.
I did taste test this wine before buying it in Austria, but I can't slosh it.
Now that it's in the cup, the like Dixie cup, though, it might have a whole new.
Good aroma.
You can't really swirl it and check out the legs.
Good legs.
It's not mouthwash. Oh, you do that? Oh.
mean, it's just as good as the day we had it.
That's pretty good.
And we're being silly.
2019 was a good year for wine.
Great year for Georgian wine, if you didn't know. I'm putting Georgia on the bucket list.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
It seems fascinating to me. It seems like a country that kind of flies under the radar.
I know nothing about it.
And they have great wine, so...
It's official. Put it on the list.
Put it on there.
You heard it here first.
The entire time we've been in Austria, we've seen people coming in and out of this bakery like crazy. It's der Baker Hoyts. How do you say that?
In Spanish, I'd say the Ruiz. Like Ruiz.
Look at the size of these things. That's
a big pretzel.
cinnamon roll. It's like it's hard to capture, but that's a large.
It's huge. It's huge. Everything is like grande.